Now 2 days away from the August 3rd primary election. Hafaday, I'm Nick Delgado. Welcome to another episode of The Hub. And what better way to get you ready for the polls this election day than to speak with the Guam Election Commission. Right now we are back meeting with Thompson Augustine with the GEC. Hafaday, Tom.
Hafaday, Nick. How are you?
How's it going this election cycle?
It's going great. So July 29th, we concluded our early voting period for the August 3rd, 2024 election. And of course, part of that, part of our preparation is we are going to continue to vet all the applications and ballots received. Then we'll go ahead and package them and then get them ready for distribution to the polling places throughout the island. And then, of course, we want to thank all the voters who did come out to vote. And we want to still continue to encourage them to come out and vote early for the upcoming general election.
And when it comes to these ballots that are handled at a different location, of course, security, it's very important.
Oh yeah, oh yes, man. We, of course, we want to thank, of course, GPD, who handles our security for the election sites, and of course, we want to give another recognize the VSOs. They help out with the traffic and, of course, guiding our voters to the vote centers.
How certain can you, or how can you reassure our voters that their votes here, that the ballots were kept under lock and key until it's sent to the
of course.
sites?
So as soon as you cast your ballot, there is a GPD officer present at all times. And then when we do secure and head back to the main office, we get escorted by GPD, and then of course they escort us up into the building and we secure it into our vault. And then that concludes the ballot security until the next day. And then that cycle just keeps repeating.
There you go. So your vote it not only counts, it was protected as well before the August 3rd primary election. And so let's walk back again. GEC, they worked to secure the Westin as their election site.
Yes.
How did that go? What can you share with us again?
Yeah, so we normally will go out for a bid, soliciting any vendors who can accommodate the space necessary and of course the parking necessary for the vote center. What we'll do is release the bid out, and then of course any vendor who is interested can pick up the bids at our office, and then of course drop in their proposal by the deadline. And but that's normally how the process would work in securing the centers.
And some of those requirements, no doubt, would ensure like ADA compliance and all those accessibilities.
Oh yes, definitely. Of course, ADA compliance is necessary, and then of course elevators and parkings, of course, and then especially an area where we can provide the accessible voting services. That is definitely a requirement.
And like you said, good job to the VSOs that were here, right? Because they helped to cart up the voters from the parking lot. They shuttled them up. And they're also good resources, I'm sure, for people that are out there, like, where do I go, which way? So.
Oh yes, they do a great job in guiding our voters, and of course, handling the traffic, making sure the flow of traffic is easy to get in and out. So of course, we owe them a great thanks.
Based on your assessment off top, Tom, how do you think early voting went compared to the prior?
Well, prior, of course, we got, last year, I believe we got around 5,000 early voting. So this year, it may have seemed a little bit slower, but we are anticipating that to increase for the general election.
Yeah, because I mean, less candidates kind of meant with less turnout for the primary, but that doesn't mean if you didn't vote in the primary that you can't vote in the general, right?
That is correct. If you did not vote in the primary, you are still eligible to vote in the general election. Yeah,
there's also a place that you can go right now on gec.guam.gov to see for yourself right there, easy click of a button, put in your information real quick. It's like, I think, your last name.
Yes.
And
last name, your date of birth, and then it'll pull up your name,
your
what district you vote in. Yes.
Pretty easy, pretty convenient.
And of course, if your name is not listed, you can always contact the GEC, and we can find out if you are registered or if there may be an input error, and we will resolve it from there.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people had questions too if they were absentee voters or if they were off island. There was a deadline on that.
Yes. So the absentee is 3 days prior to the election.
Now.
Yes, now, right, which is now. And then of course the applications are on our website. They can download them and email them to the GEC, right? And that will be the same process for the general. If you applied for absentee for the primary election, you will automatically, unless you specifically state otherwise, be applied to the general election.
Okay. Anything else you want to add just about how early voting went for the GEC?
Oh yes, I mean, of course, early voting, we're trying to encourage everybody to come out, and it went pretty well, I would say. Yeah, but we would like more voters to come out and participate.
No doubt. Yeah, get registered and get out there and vote. But in the meantime, we're going to take a quick break here on the Hub. We're going to come back with Tom here with the Guam Election Commission to talk a little bit about important notices for precinct officials and anyone looking to make some extra money while they get their vote in. Welcome back to another episode of The Hub. Less than 3 days away now from the primary election, so we're speaking with the GEC themselves. Thompson Augustine, how for day, Tom?
How for day, Nate?
So precinct officials, this is a great opportunity for the community to really see for themselves and get a first-hand look at how the process works for voting.
Oh yes, of course. So we actually just concluded our precinct official training, and you know, we were able to successfully train over 365 officials. These are the officials that will go out to the polling places and assist our voters in voting. And of course, you know, we want to invite any voter who is interested in assisting the GEC as a precinct official to come out and apply for the general election, because we're always looking for precinct officials on election day.
What is a precinct official?
So a precinct official are the individuals that you'll see when you walk into the polling place. They will be the one to guide you, give you your ballot instructions, and of course service you, locate your name on the roster, and of course entertain any issues you may have at the polling place. So they are a tremendous help. They are very much necessary for election day.
Wow, they really help relieve some of the stress from the staff in the GEC, because those voters sometimes can get savage out there. They have questions, right?
Oh yes, and rightfully so. You know, like of course, if there may be anything not reflected on the roster of stuff, you know, of course, rightfully so, they should ask those questions, and of course, the GEC will take the effort to make any correction and look into the issue.
That's a good tip that you said about being able to train these precinct officials, because they need to know how to respond or who to go to if they don't know the answer, right?
Yes, exactly. And of course, we do train them, and then we do let them know that if there is any questions or there is an area of that they are not sure of, they can always contact us at the main office, and we will guide them through the process.
Nice, nice. How much, could you say roughly how much a precinct official makes? I know that's the question on everyone's mind.
Of course, please come out. As a precinct official for the upcoming primary and general election, you will get $500 for the primary, and $500 again for the general election.
Nice.
Yep, that is nice for a 1 day's work. That is nice.
1 day's work to take a trip.
Yes.
Okay, and where do people go again if they still want to sign up to?
Oh yes, so applications can be found on our website. Please, it's at www.gec.guam.gov. Please visit our website, download the application, fill it out, sign it, and then you can email the application to vote@gec.guam.gov.
That easy. You can do it electronically, just at the touch of your fingertips, but you can also go to the GEC offices?
Yes, of course. You can come into our main office and apply there as well.
Nice. Anything else that the potential precinct officials, or even those precinct officials that have done this before, need to know?
Well, of course. So, you know, like we do ask, just be mindful that you will have to do a training. It will be about a 2 to 3 hour training. And of course, you know, election days, be ready. We can be expecting long days and long nights. So, you know, just be very mindful of that when you come out and apply. All right.
All good points. Thanks, Tom, for that.
No problem.
Keep here on the Hub. More talks with the GEC when we return. Well, when you go out there to hit the polls on Election Day on August 3rd, starting at 8 a.m., of course, when the polls open up, you might want to know where to go, especially if there's some new polling sites. Hafaday, welcome back to the Hub. I'm Nick Delgado, joined by, I guess, my co-host for this episode, Thompson Augustine with the Guam Election Commission. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Oh, thanks for having us here.
Polling sites.
Yes.
Very important for, because I can't just come from Agayan Heights and say, I'm in Malasu right now. Let me vote.
Oh, yes, yes. So, yes, polling sites are extremely important. That's where the voters will go out from their respective districts to go out and vote. And there are some changes this year for the 2024 elections. We have increased our polling sites from 21 to 22 this year. And of course, we want to highlight these changes, particularly more so in the districts of Chigo and Dedido. So voters from the districts of Chigo and Dedido with last names beginning with A to K can go to Dominican Catholic School to vote. And then those with last names beginning from L to Z will go to FBLG. I'm sorry. I think
previously, yes, I believe that was one of the sites.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, DL Paris.
There you go.
Yeah, DL Paris Elementary School to come out and vote. So yeah, and then of course with the residents of Dedido, those beginning with A to C will be voting at Weddingale Elementary. Those beginning with last names beginning with D through O will be voting at Ukadu High School. And lastly, of course, those beginning with last names beginning with P to Z will be voting at, I'm sorry, I lost that. What's the other one again?
I think it was
okay.
D, where was it?
Here, and then, of course, those beginnings with lastly, those last names beginning with P to Z will be voting at League One Elementary.
Perfect. Okay, and don't worry, if you can't recall all of what Tom just mentioned right now, it's available. We'll put this graphic up for you right now that shows the full map of the island, each voting district, what the letters are for each, because that's the first letter of your last name, right?
Yes.
Okay. So say for instance, it's voting day, but I can't make it there. I'm at home. Is that still an option to get help?
Well, we do have a homebound voting service program, but actually, so that program is actually available for our voters who are, it's difficult for them to leave their house because of medical issues or ailments. So we do have that homebound voting service program, and it is still continuing. And it will continue all the way up to the day of the election. But we do ask that you contact the GEC at 671-477-9791 and set an appointment. We do ask that you set the appointment as soon as possible, because as we draw closer to election day, that appointment list starts to grow dramatic.
Yeah, you want to make sure you have enough staff on hand so that everyone gets their vote in.
Of course, yes, yeah.
Okay, aside from the changes that's happening at these polling stations, what's the process like? I show up, I'm in Agania Heights, I show up to the elementary school there. That's my voting, that's my polling site. And then what do I do?
Oh, of course, so remember, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on August 3rd, polls open up for election day. And please, everyone remember, when you come out to vote, bring your ID. And of course, please come out to vote on election day.
Okay, just an ID.
Just an ID. That's all,
it.
Yep, that's all you need.
I know.
Picture ID.
Picture ID. Good one. So, and I know it's also if it's your school ID, government ID.
Yes. And then any validly issued ID. So if you're worried that your ID is expired, but it is a validly issued ID by the Department of Motor Vehicles or what so have you, that will be accepted at the polls.
Perfect. Okay. And then I get my I voted sticker?
Yes, of course. You'll get your I voted sticker, and then those of you, those residents who are working on that day can get a slip indicating that they came out to vote that they can provide to their employers should they have to. All those things will be available, and of course the precinct officials will know what to do, and they are trained to provide those types of services.
And you will have security there, correct?
Correct, yes. Again, a big thanks to the Guam Police Department. They will be providing security there at each and every polling place. So yeah, of course, if there's anything that should happen or what that requires any attention, GPD will be there.
Nice. Safety is always top of mind for everyone. They just want to get out there and vote, and they want to do it peacefully.
Yes, of course.
All right. Keep it here. We'll wrap up the show if you're watching The Hub. And it's time to get my vote in. Then you should too. Don't forget, this August 3rd, the polls open. In the meantime, follow me as I get to early voting. This is what I did, of course, last week. Let's do it. Hi. Oh, straight over here.
express vote today, or you want to do a traditional paper ballot?
I'll do express, please.
Okay, you can follow me. I'll give you the instructions in there.
Okay. Here's fine.
So this is the express vote. I'm going to start by inserting the blank ballot card into it and activating your Agana Heights ballot for precinct 13. There is an assisted voting keypad over here to the left that's mainly for the visually impaired voters, but so you're mostly going to be making your selections just by touching the screen, okay? It's a primary election, so you vote for candidates of one party only. The express vote will ask you to indicate the party ballot that you want to vote on, and then once you've selected the party, to vote for a candidate, just touch the candidate's name. To vote for someone not on the ballot, you just touch write in and then type in the candidate's full name.
Okay. And then head down this way? Okay. Thank you. Thanks. Well, there you have it. You might have heard a little bit of it, but not everything inside. It's as simple as that. You go in there, you show your ID, they approve it, they check it, they verify that you're registered, and you're in the right precinct. I was able to use the machine this time, so it was easy, quick, digital, click of the button, printed my ballot, put it in an envelope, and as you might have seen down there, I secured it, they taped it up, and put it into the box. And you can do that too this August 3rd. Remember to check on gec.guam.gov as well as on KUAM.com for the very latest on all you need to know this decision 2024. For now, I'm Nick Delgado. You're watching The Hub. Stay safe, and we'll see you at the polls.